Back of the Bus podcast coming to you with another comic book review. Today we are doing Monica Rambeau's Photon #1. Be written by Eve Ewing. The artist Luca Maresca. Luca Maresca. There you go. And then colorist Carlos Lopez. Right away, awesome cover, of course. Right, I really am kind of blown away by the shots and the art. I am. It's a beautiful book.
It is.
One of the things that I consistently critique about illustrators doing Black women is their hair. It is the quickest thing to point out to show that you either don't give a damn or didn't have no type of experience or wherewithal.
Oh, her edges laid. That's all I want to know.
Like she, this is cool. I can rock with this. It didn't look like she's freshly permed or anything like that. No straight hair, rock star mohawks, nothing like that.
I will ask my wife real quick. What's the terminology for when her sister, when a sister that had her hair just done? Like they didn't tilt it, they didn't laid it, they didn't
laid. That's what it is, laid.
Laid it. Yeah, her hair is. And then, if I'm not mistaken, did they put my sister Queen some of the like the silver stuff in the hair too?
Yeah.
And then you look behind her as she's flying, like right behind her ears. You know, you see the diamonds and everything like that. I guess she was born in April. You see how the hair is flying in the back, like that's real. Don't know who paid attention to black hairstyle, but hey, me and Marcus see what you did. You did your thing. Now you paying attention.
So look, rate this iteration. You know, costume and all. Rate this iteration on Monica Rambeau's list so far. So we're talking Captain Marvel, we're talking Spectrum. How does this rank on the other iterations? I think we've seen her with like dreads almost in the Ultimates, kind of.
The fact that I can see her edges, her edges laid down, that's one off the rip, because that's detail. He didn't have to put that in there. He could have just her hairstyle and stopped. Yeah. No. That ain't what he did. First of all, me and you didn't seen this hairstyle on a sister before to understand that this a sister. Me and you didn't seen this hairstyle. We didn't see the hairstyle that they have like this, where they put the ornaments in their hair. Me and you didn't seen this as Black men, so this ain't surprising us. But then, because you could have stopped right there. But then you gave her edges. You laid her edges down. Now,
you're really getting into it. He really got the details of the stone.
You didn't have to give us that.
Yeah.
But that's right. The detail. So for that alone, I got to get this a 1. I mean, I ain't even gonna touch on the fact that her lips, her makeup, because me and you see the eyeshadow on there, we see the eyelashes, and shout out to the artist, he did not give her the extended eyelashes and everything like that. She got a regular eyelashes. Her lip gloss is popping. You know, her lip gloss is popping. It is. Yeah. So I don't know who she went to go see before in the fictional universe before she took this fictional picture, but whoever she went to go see, I'm pretty sure they get paid a lot for doing the makeup on superheroes, that bringing them out, because that's it.
You see that. It's an interesting note in the beginning of this book too, when the dialogue starts. She's kind of talking about how she used to be afraid of water. You start thinking about like what Monica Rambeau's power set actually is, like the ability to turn into any kind of energy. And so like it never even dawned on me that like, like that's 70% of the earth. Like literally, Monica Rambeau could just consume 3/4 of the earth if she so chooses at any given moment.
She is no one to be messed with on any level whatsoever.
Like on a cosmic scale, though, like she's
nobody can be messed with, because if she's a battery, you got energy. You and I have electricity flowing throughout our body, which she could take control over at any moment in time should she choose to do so. So
the hell with a Thanos snap. It's a Monica Rambeau snap. Give me that.
And watch this. If Monica Rambeau is standing in front of Thanos, he could have the Infinity Gauntlet on, and he can't move fast enough to snap his fingers before she hurts him. That's how sick she is. She doesn't get that push, that acknowledgement that she is who she is. She doesn't, and I'm gonna touch on that later on. I ain't gonna really get into it right now. It's knowing that I remember having this adventure book in my hand when I was in high school.
Speaking of that, right? So the setting is New York, right? She's picking up a bacon, egg, and cheese at a bodega, and she runs into one of her oldest fans, right? Who
Right.
doesn't address her as Monica, doesn't address her as Spectrum, doesn't address her in her newest moniker, Photon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Addresses her as what?
Captain Marvel.
The first. Man, miss me with the technicalities and the wanting to keep the naming rights and all that other stuff. First is first.
Watch this.
First
So
is
here,
first.
we don't even get that far. The header.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to, get that. When New Orleans Harbor Patrol Lieutenant Monica Rambeau destroyed a super weapon, she gained the ability to convert her body into any form of energy, inheriting the Captain Marvel title. Because me and you be on social media, and we be beat these social media. We've had so many people have so much to say and everything like that. You're like, you know what? This is what happened when you read a comic book. Because you can say whatever.
First is first, man. And I get it. I get the knee-jerk reaction to want to nitpick and apply any type of caveats that you see fit. When we talking about some black characters, don't matter. First is first.
First is first. First is first.
Ricky Bobby say, if you ain't first, you're last.
And watch this, because I was around reading those comics back then. I understand the business side of it. You had Captain Marvel and everything like that. He passed away, and the time was coming around when you wanted to make sure you still had legal access to this name. But as I said to those who want to say, well, that's the only reason why they did it. Well, hell, Karen was sitting right there. All they had to do was call her Captain Marvel. Why they kept her as Miss Marvel? You could have changed her to Captain Marvel. You ain't have to. The white dude, because it wasn't no black dude that did this. It was a white dude that said, okay, we're going to create a black female.
It's not even all that for me. It's just the fact that I guess we're going to sit up here and pretend that throughout the entire history of all of these books, there haven't been any business decisions that ended up influencing the direction or the narrative of the books. Like that's what we're gonna sit up here and pretend. Only Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel is what we're gonna critique and not count. But any other countless narrative decisions that were made in any of these books ever that may have been influenced by a business decision, that we put that in the corner. Put that over there.
And that's the people where you can find, as we talked about with, and I'm not going to mention that name here. I can't. In regards to the recast of T'Challa movement, we've seen it where different people had different agendas as a part of the anti-recasters. And all you have to do is just listen to them talk long enough, and you have some that are just pure, like, I don't believe this is how that should be done. And those we just gonna agree to disagree. You understand what I'm saying? But you have some that if you let them talk long enough, they will tell you what their agenda is in regards to a specific character. And when those people start talking to us, as you state, we know the business side of it, fam. We know it. The only reason why this matters now is because it's a black character. That's it. But yeah, I'll get with you when especially I like the contrast when the older woman told the dude, you can wait on the other Avengers. I ain't studying them. This ain't what this her. So I love that aspect of it, because you have those of us that be like, well, hey, we can get a picture with all of them. It's about, no, I don't care about all of them. I'm talking about her. And I ain't even trying to accept the fact that she talking about Photon. Her mama called her Captain Marvel. Her daddy named her Captain Marvel. I'm gonna call her Captain Marvel. No, nobody's
It's Photon. Like if your grandma saw Pam Grier walking next to Beyonce, or she just seen Pam Grier walking and was like, oh my God. And it was like, oh, but Beyonce and Destiny's Child pulling up. She like, hey, skirt. You know what I'm saying? Pam Grier is right here. You know what I mean?
Right. So I love the fact that the author read the stories and read the previous stories, because we can say a lot about authors not reading previous stories of characters.
No, she smacked the MCU across the face with that with the opening header on the title page, in this little conversation here with her friend. She gave a big smack across the face of the MCU, little nod there. They do get into her backstory a little bit further, detailing her battle with the Leviathan. Oddly enough, I didn't tie those stories together. I didn't realize that she was injured from that fight, and that's what made her originally died. I didn't tie those two things together because I hadn't read that story, I guess. But yeah, that's when she ends up losing her powers temporarily. It seems like for some reason or not. You go ahead, rock with it. Tell me what happened.
That's rocking with me and you on this video. I'm in Camilla, Georgia, going to Mitchell Baker High School, going to Mitchell County Drug Store, buying these comics. And you need to know, because Mariner, she started off as a member of Alpha Flight and everything like that. Namor fell in love with her, then brought over to the Avengers comic book. Then she got caught up in this weird behind transformation. When Monica makes the point, she says, I've never experienced trust on that level, camaraderie or sabotage on that level of failure. What she's alluding to, and this is because D-Real talked about this. If you read the book, she's talking about Cap, because we talk about Cap telling Carol Danvers, you should be Captain Marvel. He's the one that told Monica Rambeau, hey, you should be the leader of this team. Cap encouraged her to go be the leader of the team. So you got that. She's referencing that when she's talking about the camaraderie, because everybody looked at her as a leader, as a member of the team, even when she doubted herself. That sabotage, she's talking about Mordru, the dude who was on the team and everything like that. He's supposed to be like a low budget Doctor Strange. Well, he was sabotaging her at every point because he wanted to run the team. So he was deliberately doing stuff to cause her to fail. He's talking about that. So it's like, if you read that storyline, you know exactly everything she alluded to. Even the part where she gets down and she says, it took my team, and with that, eventually my purpose, my personhood, my name. The reason why that's personal for me was because I know the only reason why they shelved her like that as a character was because they wanted to move that name to somebody else.
She was used as a placeholder almost.
Exactly. So it's like, shout out Eve Ewing. I guess if you
Ewing. No, she got it. She got so far so good. We're critical in these type of books, but this is a good start.
Shout out to her for being a comic book historian. Like that's real.
All right, so we're gonna jump uptown to the Sanctum Sanctorum with Wong and Doctor Strange. Monica Rambeau has a gift for them. It is the Stone of Hala, which apparently she picked up in Ironheart number 8. Didn't read it, but for my Ironheart readers out there, quick reference to reread her book.
Right.
It does give them an interesting note, though, that or Strange gives Monica Rambeau a note about the fact that she was the only one that could transport it.
Right.
Another notch to that power level there, man, really setting her aside, which is positive. It's something that I like. It's interesting because it seems like they're kind of prodding us towards something. Like there's going to be something on a grander scale that Monica's going to have to do because she's the only one who's able to do it. Seems like that's where they're trying to lead us so far. My thing is it going to be something that that the greater Marvel universe needs her to do? Or is like, somebody going to kidnap her family member, and whoever kidnapped her, she can only fight them, or, what I'm saying? Or is it going to get nerfed back down? Don't give me Ayo. No, she's strong. No. I'm telling you, she's strong. No, she's a dynamo. All right, now we got to play down to the level of our villains. That type of thing.
I think what we will get, and this is just me, all things considered, we do have the Marvels movie coming out. We do have this, and I'm not knocking it. I just wish we could get it too. We do have this appeasement for Black women and everything like that. We've seen stories like this happen before. I think what will wind up happening, because one, they are saying that she not. I don't like using the phrase OP if that's what that should be. The fact that because we didn't see her flying with this thing, so she just released the Stone of Hala. She has it contained in an energy field of her own creation, and I'm assuming she had it in a pocket universe of her own creation as well, because it just pops up from nowhere. So, with all that being said, I'm thinking
we can create a universe, like just on the fly, like just in your spare time, to put things that shouldn't be in your universe. We just gonna create a universe in your leisure.
I would say this. I think they're going to do the same thing that they did with Adam Brashear. We're going to know that she's this powerhouse, but because she's extremely powerful, once we give y'all this series, because we need to know this series ain't for us, even though, because some people have said some stuff that I think when you it's blatantly clear, it's obvious. This is a book for Black girls, Black women. We buying it. We buying it though. We buying it. But if the Black woman was to jump on this story with us, Monica Rambeau would be having an ongoing series, because I don't believe this is going to be an ongoing series. It's a limited series. If we're talking about this Black girl magic and this Black girl rock and everything like that, if we can't do it for Monica Rambeau, or should it?
Do it for? That's what I keep kind of running into myself. It's like, if we can't get a decent T'Challa book, if we can't get Monica Rambeau ongoing series, if we can't get a actual in-depth Blade solo with a reputable writer before, we're moving on to the daughter of Blade, it does kind of seem a little treacherous when you start thinking about introducing some of or reintroducing some of these older characters that we'd like to see. You get Captain America reintroduced every 5 years. Same thing with Iron Man, same thing with Hulk, same thing with Thor. You get a refresh, you get a reintroduction, right? And with an actual ongoing. It's less common the other way. So I get that. There's no problem with the book being specifically geared toward towards Black girls and women, but no. I think kind of what's not being taken into account though is that I think the percentage of people that are buying these books, the female percentage is low. So if you write a book specifically tailored, it's going to have a hard time breaking through because of the audience that you're talking to, whether it's good or not.
It is.
Right?
It
if you're specifically tailoring it, which I don't know if it has been all that we ain't really got much out of this book yet to say whether or not it's that poignant. But
no. I don't. When I say it's for Black women, what I'm saying is the lead character is a Black woman.
No, for sure. Yeah. It's clear who it's meant to represent.
But to your point, because she's a great character, and this to me is one of the better stories I read this year. Watch this. This is my first Monica Rambeau story that I read this year, and I done read quite a few T'Challa books, and the T'Challa books ain't hit like this one. That's all I'm saying. So, it's a good read as we go along. But to your point, to your question earlier, I think, like I said, because I said a lot in regards, but not specifically to your question, they're going to treat her like Adam Brashear. She's going to be this OP character, and they're going to sideline her. Unless people get behind her, that's what's going to happen.
Let's hope not. Because hope that MCU synergy kicks in and we get an ongoing Monica Rambeau book in anticipation for the Marvels. So, quick disruption there at the Sanctum. Wong, Strange, and Monica run outside to meet a very tall foe. Not sure who it is or what their objective is very soon or soon after them arriving outside, but Monica wastes no time anyways. The enemy seems to be anticipating Monica's moves pretty smoothly, a little surprisingly. Monica's pulling a little bit off, but she's still evading her, which is surprising Monica. And then your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man just kind of shows up, creeps into the book.
Kind of shows up.
Can we talk about, just for a second, I know we be going on these tangents, but how convenient it is that every superhero in the world lives in New York. Just everybody. Like any given day, you can just run into Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Wong, this creature, anybody. And then it's just a normal day in New York. Giant people walking down the boulevard. No, nothing to see here.
I would never live in New York.
New York is a war zone.
Like
a war zone.
I noticed something else though. Like and I'm not sure because I remember Carol Danvers wasn't a leader. Carol Danvers literally started off as the damsel in distress. The person who came on the scene running stuff was Monica Rambeau because she kept getting passed over for a promotion when she was working for the harbor in New Orleans. But Carol Danvers, her character then did so many because she was originally saved by Marvel. when the thing exploded. That's all they got right in her first movie, was that the thing exploded. It was Marvel that saved her while he was fighting somebody. So she was the damsel in distress. All this headstrong, I give orders, I'm running stuff, I'm the co-leader. No, what you were no different than what Power Girl was back in the day. Eye candy. That's why she went so hard doing the what? It wasn't Heroes Reborn story arc. It was when Wanda said no more mutants or whatever, and she wanted so much to be seen as a superhero. That's why they wrote that story like that. Nobody took her seriously in the comics. You were eye candy. Now they want to make you something else, which was why Captain Marvel wasn't received that well by fans, because fans that read the comics felt like, you're forcing this character down our throats. We don't care for her like that. We never did.
You know, I try to like Brie Larson. I do. And I don't think she necessarily deserves all the vitriol she gets. But I do think she plays with it a little bit. Like she knows it's there. And so she likes to poke the bear a little bit for those who don't like her, which she's well within her right to do. I just, I can't feel all the way sorry for you if you invite it in a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like it ain't right, but like, quit going over there and messing with them people.
I
That kind
think
of thing.
Larson is saying to herself, and I said it just by looking, I said, the same people that's got an issue with her being Captain Marvel, y'all had no issue looking at her in the short shorts and Kong Skull Island.
No.
Y'all, so it's, I'm not going to be mad at her for taking the job. I'm not, because I know that's the portrayal in and of itself, and the way Marvel pushed it. We talked about that on the spaces the other day when we were talking about how you push these characters undeveloped on people, and you say, well, this is the most powerful character that's in the world. That's kind of like what they did with Carol Danvers. Before they even gave us her first movie, they told us, introduced her at the end of Infinity War. Oh, she gonna be the one to save the day. Well, wait, hold on, wait. It's off the rip. That's who that is. And that would have been the case, I believe, with any character they introduced, whether it be male, female, POC, or whatever. A character that nobody has seen, but now they showing up to save the day. No, that's gonna be a problem.
All right, so Spider-Man, Wong, and Monica make quick work of the assailant here. They recognize the voice of the person after they apprehend him. It is Dr. Yesenia Rosario.
Yes.
One of the most brilliant scientists that they've ever met, or says Spider-Man, I've ever met.
We did not give her a name in regards to her superpower. So even though we see this costume person,
Hinge is the name of the villain, it looks like.
Are we ever hear from this person again?
Probably in this book, it seems like.
Somebody that's gonna make. I guess what I'm saying, like, I hate to see throwaway characters. You gave somebody a costume. You gave somebody. So you thought this out. You gave them the powers. You gave them the name and everything like that. What we finna do with them? We finna just toss them to the side? Because we talk about stuff like this in regards to characters, black characters. She's a black female villain. We could use more of them. She ain't just got Spider-Man showed up, Doctor Strange and Wong here, so she ain't even got to just be in this particular comic book no more. Peter got a relationship.
Take me through her history. Like, who is she as a character? Where does Spider-Man know her from?
Watch this. I can't tell you. I gotta go do some daggone research. But I'm saying, like, let's not put this thought into this. As we talk and everything like that. Here we have a character that has a history, look like, right? We've given him a power set, given him a costume. We're trying to say that somehow her story is going to tie into Monica Rambeau's story. Let's not be done with her after this series. We got 4 heroes here. She can show up in either comic book. Let's make her one of those villains. And I think that's what I'm saying. Basically, the villain makes the hero. The villain makes the hero. If you want the hero to be great, you got to introduce a great villain for the hero. Let's do something with these villains as opposed to just one off and them, make them prominent for one storyline and we never ever hear from them again, especially when we can use them.
So they find out it's Yesenia, right? They find it's Dr. Rosario. She starts flipping out because she sees Monica Rambeau, goes into a frenzy and says that Monica is going to destroy the universe. Juan puts her to sleep, but it's a scary moment. And it seems to draw some questions there for Monica as she skirts back home, looks like, maybe back to New Orleans from New York in an instance. So now again, another one of these realizations of her powers. The ability to turn into any type of energy gives you the ability to teleport. Somebody got to quantify that for me because I'm not smart enough to put those things together.
Well, I would look at it like this: if energy is everywhere all at once, and I mean, at speed of light, you just gotta see it and you're there. She's living energy. Like, and I don't know how they dialed her power set back before when they were trying to, because she was like, she's energy. She was immortal, basically. Okay, well, I don't know how you kill a being like this. What she can do, you and I, especially since I just finished reading about T'Challa, Doom War, and Shadow Physics. Good God, man. There's no telling what her limits are. We're saying energy. Energy is everywhere, and she's light. Like, she deals with that, and it's all over the place.
Like, she probably just turned herself into light and just zapped across the country.
So, you and I can't even process where her power set at. The possibilities are endless. Energy is everywhere, and that's what she is. She's a being that controls energy, and she just talked about it. Like, I don't know what you're doing with her. Even darkness is an energy, so I don't know what you're doing with her.
Next couple pages here, we get some introductions to some of her family. It's like her cousin Caleb, her mother, her father.
Who?
Her father, MCU.
Who?
Her father was alive and well and present and part of her life with her mother, Monica Rambeau.
I got a question.
What?
For Miss Eve Ewing. I believe she watched WandaVision, and I find it very, very telling that the first two people she introduced from Monica's life are men.
Very fair. Very fair.
I think that, watch it. The first one, a gay brother, and she doesn't write the story
cousin,
like repeated.
Right? Is that brother or cousin?
Gay, I think that, let me see. Your mother isn't home, just his name sends her blood through pressure. You got Monica ever. I thought is it her cousin or Caleb? Caleb?
Oh no, I thought I saw a cousin in here somewhere. Could have been brother.
Yeah, either way, she tells us the story but doesn't focus on the story. So we get the great introduction to the backstory that he is gay. We understand that, and he's in an abusive relationship. So it's a humane story. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he just happens to be gay. So she's giving us a story about her brother or cousin who just happens to be gay. And then we follow along. She's telling us about her father. And honestly, when she walk in, it's like, man, the information, the type of conversation that they're having, a father-daughter conversation. Something we never got in the MCU. Something that people have been so quick to disparage, ignore, or treat as if it's insignificant. He's giving her great information, if you don't mind. That child done lost his mind. We're lucky your mother isn't home. Just his name about sends her blood pressure through the roof. I can hear those conversations in my mind. You got a good heart, Monica. Everyone else is tired of giving him money, tired of the bad news. This is a father-daughter conversation. And it's real.
I've had this conversation, like personally, I've had this conversation once or twice before. You know what I'm saying? Like about family members. So it's something that everybody should be able to identify with.
He says, my girl, I worry. Like, tough day for my girl. Oh, look, this is how us fathers feel when we see our daughters. Like, what was wrong with giving us this on the screen, and we have not seen it yet? So I'm loving her writing so far. I ain't mean to get into it, but I just thought that was,
It doesn't look like we got too much more time here in the book. Honestly, only a couple of pages. The last little bit of the dialogue with Maria as she walks in is she name drops Mr. Brashear, and Photon acting like, he's Mr. Last Week. Is that fact or is that cap? Do we think that it's really over and she not gonna touch on it, or is she just pushing that to the side for later issues?
Here's what's crazy. In the Thunderbolts, she was wearing his jacket.
She sure was. I saw that.
So I'm gonna sit back. I'm not gonna say nothing because I like to sit back over here because me and you just chopped it up. Those of us in the we be like, well, daggone, we can't get T'Challa and Aurora together, so now we can't get Monica and Adam together. Because what we gonna say? Well, he's too old for you. He's too old for everybody.
I want to say he's too old. Yeah, you said it. He's too old for everybody. I mean, Monica ain't no spring chicken. I mean, I guess the whole entirety of Marvel continuity is supposed to be like 20 years, but still, even with that, like, yeah, she's been around for a minute.
She's been around since slavery and everything like that. I get it. But what you want to do, so he don't get to be with no female. That's what it is.
He got to go marry an Eternal.
Exactly.
Any other thoughts on the book? Yo,
I loved it, man. Like, I love the subtle reminders. If you read anything about Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau before, if you're my age, a little bit younger, a little bit older, and you remember when she made her Marvel Comics debut in that Spider-Man angle, this gave you life right here. This gave you life. It was refreshing. Overall, I know you and I had talked about it previously, and I was like, well, okay. I didn't really know what to expect, but I would say this. What you told me didn't do the book justice. This is a good read. It's a good jumping on point for those who are new to her. I would advise, if this is your first comic book, read about Monica Rambeau. All those comic book references that they gave you, either go down to your local comic book store and get those comic books, or get the Marvel Unlimited app and read those stories for yourself, so you can get more engrossed into who this character is, because those were some great references that they tied into this book. They were.
Agreed. We'll definitely be keeping out for the rest of the miniseries. Fingers crossed for an ongoing. And we'll be back with you as soon as we get another issue drop. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Give us your thoughts on the book in the comments below, and come back for more comic book review.
Wait. We got a second issue. I ain't wanna let the fans not know we got a
it's a mini. We knew we getting a second issue for sure.
Yeah.
At least, I mean, a mini is more than one.
Yeah. I know we told them, hey, y'all gonna get the second issue.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll be right back here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back for issue 2.
Go get that.